Hi everyone, good evening. So as we all know that SNAP is just around the corner, and SNAP is one of the most important entrance exams in India, which opens gates to some of the highly acclaimed B schools in India of the Symbiosis Institute. So today we have with us uh, Snehadeep, Ramya, Ashi, and Vinit from SIIB to help us understand the exam and their strategies to get into SIIB. Also, they will help us understand the student's perspective as a student in SIIB. So over to you, Ramya.
So, good evening, everyone. Today our agenda is to understand the structures and strategies of SNAP entrance exam, which is basically the entrance exam to enter into any of the B schools under the Symbiosis umbrella. Next slide, please. SNAP's test structure is basically divided into three parts. That is for the quantitative data interpretation and data sufficiency. You have 20 marks. For the 15 marks for the VARC part, and for the LR part, it is a 25 marks. So it is basically a 60 marks exam for 60 minutes. It is a time intensive exam. Next slide, please. So the marking scheme is for the each correct answer, it's a positive 1 mark, and the maximum score that you can achieve is obviously 60. Any negative answer, it's minus 0.25. The duration is 1 hour. As I said, it's a time intensive exam, 60 marks in 60 minutes. There is no negative marks for any unattempted questions. And the best thing is that there is no sectional time limits. Next slide, please. So for the strategies for cracking Snap, and firstly, I'll be talking about the VRC part. You need to have a good proficiency in English grammar for accurate sentence correction and reported speech. And also you need to enhance your grasp on the tenses, English grammar tenses. You need to expand your vocabulary for various questions that appears in the Snap and for a better comprehension. Moving on, for the logical reasoning part in the SNAP, you need to tackle diverse types of reasoning problems that we get in various mocks. We need to also analyze our logical alignment that we need to have for cracking the SNAP exam in a proper manner. We need to be thorough about reviewing the response choices without assumptions, relying solely on the factual information. Moving on with the next part, the for the quants, we need to maintain a list of theorems. You need to have a theory of a list of equations and shortcuts. You know, it's a time-intensive exam, so shortcuts is the way where you get the speed right ahead. So you need to enhance your speed, and also with speed you need to maintain the precision. You need to, if there is a speed, you also need to maintain the precision through which you can go for the positive marks. This will come with a lot of practice, regular exercise practices and all. For moving further ahead, uh, now there are various common strategies that we all have used in our past for cracking the SNAP exam. The first and foremost is the time management. You need to be very much conscious about the time that you are taking for solving the answers. You cannot spend much time in one question. Otherwise, you will be missing out on a lot of questions. You need to go through of the paper, and you need to realize which questions you need to attend. So time management is a big part for cracking the SNAP exam. You need to also focus on your strengths. Like if one section of suppose if VRC, DILR, and one other part, if you are not confident about VRC, then you can skip it for the last and you can go ahead with the other two sections. So you need to focus on your strengths, and also you need to work on your weak areas to make that into a strength so that it will help you moving ahead in the snap entrance exam. And you need to revise a lot. So revision is something that you need to do while appearing for the snap entrance exam. So you need to spend time on solving sample papers and previous year papers that you can easily access over the internet. And the third and the last strategy for the cracking SNAP exam, I will say, is practice, practice, and practice. The more you practice, the more you get accustomed with the speed, the more you get accustomed with the accuracy. You can analyze where you are lagging behind and where you can improve. So you need to solve various questions ranging from basic to advanced levels. Uh, so analytical thinking and problem solving skills you also need to have for all the for the practice part. Moving ahead, now I'll be talking about the important dates of SNAP entrance exam. The first is on December 10th, the second is on December 17th, and the last will be on December 22nd. And you can attempt all the three exams. Only the best score out of the three will be taken for your percentile. Uh, thank you everyone and all the very best for your SNAP exam. Uh, thank you everyone.
So first of all, I would like to thank Snehadeep and Ramya for the beautiful pleasure, for the beautiful presentation and the description about how to attempt SNAP, how to strategize the entire paper, and which section to go first, and what are the practice tips that you can take while preparing for SNAP. So now I believe that we have given a presentation on how you can attempt or start the paper of SNAP, which is just coming up in a few days. So now I would like to request all the aspirants to please send in your doubts in the chat box so that we can start interacting with you all, start addressing every doubt, and start solving your questions and the doubts that you have. Yes, guys, you can shoot your questions. Please type in all your questions that you have. We are here just to address and interact with each and every one of you and to just help you with SNAP, SIIB, and what is there that we have to offer you. So there is a person, Mr. Kaushik Day, who is asking how much percentile is required to join SIIB. So, see, Kaushik, we genuinely do not have any idea about how much percentile is required to, clear the cutoff for SIIB because it particularly depends upon the level of difficulty that the SNAP paper sets into. So it changes every year. Also, we do not have any confirmation or any idea about what will be the cutoff. It will entirely dependent upon the how much like what is the exact difficulty level of the paper. In and around you can expect more than 90 in the range of 90 to 93 if we can say the percentile as per the last year trends. So yeah, that is for MBA in international business range between 90 to 93.
Adding to what Vineet said, so for specializations in agribusiness and E&E, the percentile is normally lesser than that for IB. So it differs from specialization to specialization. So it also depends on what specialization you are going for. But we do not have an exact number as to what percentile will get you into SIIB.
Yes.
But yes, do your best and attempt as many questions as possible. Uh, because that this is a game of attempting most number of questions and getting them right at the same time.
Yeah, so Manya is asking how to strategize if you can't attempt more than 30 questions. So Snehadeep and Ramya, as you have just recently attempted SNAP, so I guess you can throw a light on this question, like you are a recent experience holder. So like you guys can give a light on this.
So I would like to take this question. Manya, if you can't attempt more than 30 questions, so I would say that try to make those number of questions that you are attempting to be very precise that they gets correct. You don't have to attempt a lot of questions. You can attempt as many questions as you can, but try to get them correct. Don't think that I need to answer a lot more to get a higher percentile. You need to have a proper precision. So, as I said already, it's a very time-intensive exam. You have a very less time, but you need to get those things correct which you are attempting.
Yeah, perfect. Accuracy is any day important than attempting each and every question. Like focus on improving your accuracy. That's what result you in a good score. Now, the question is, what should sectional timings look like according to you? See, what I follow during my snap, I just gave the number of minutes equivalent to number of questions in each section. As the paper is of 60 minutes and there are 60 questions, so I tried giving minutes according to the questions that are there on the paper. If there are 25 questions for quantitative ability, then I have given 25 minutes to quants, then 15 minutes to English, and the rest of the time to the last section. So I followed that strategy. So Ramya, Ashi, or Snehri, if you followed any other strategy, like how much time is allocated to sections?
Actually, my strategy was very different from yours, Vineet.
Yeah.
What I did was I attempted English, the verbal ability section first, because that's comparatively easier. I mean, for me, I think that was my strength. So I focused on that section first, and I tried to complete that in around 5 or 7 minutes because they're mostly fill in the blanks or idioms. So those questions can be attempted quickly. Whereas in sections like QA, wherein you need to solve the question, I devoted more time to that section so that I can get them correct, and at the same time manage my time. So that was my strategy, attempting my stronger section, the section that I'm more confident in first, and then going ahead with the rest of the sections and questions.
So
Okay.
adding to what Ashi said,
Yeah.
the same strategy was also mine, because verbal is basically, it is MCQ. You don't need to solve much. It is just whatever, like, you know it or you just don't know it. So keep your focus on doing the correct answers. Like, even if you don't know any question, just skip and come back to it later. Don't waste much of time on a single question, because every minute is important in snap. Like, snap is basically, it's going to test your speed and accuracy, as we all discussed earlier. So the same strategy was also mine, that for verbal I gave hardly 7 to 8 minutes, which was for 15 questions, and which I felt was sufficient enough for my strength. And quants and LR took most of the time, as that also has the most weightage in the snap paper. So this was my strategy.
Yes, and again, like Vineet had a different strategy, and Ramya and I, we
Yeah.
had a different strategy. So you do not have to follow our strategy. Just give enough number of mocks to actually know your strengths and weaknesses, and then form a strategy. Do not just follow what we are saying. Just look at how it works out for you. Give enough number of mocks. That is very important. That is what all of us did, right? So that's how we got to know what strategy we need to apply on the D day.
Exactly. Because each and every section is going to have its own strategy. So if you follow that strategy,
Vineet, you're not audible. I think he lost his internet connection. Okay, so while Vineet is coming back, we can take some more questions. Um, Shlok Lal is asking, which topic should I more focus on? Um, so, for example, if you're better in quants, then you can focus on the topics that you're confident that you will never get wrong. So start with that, and then go ahead with the difficult ones, because sometimes the paper might come, it can be little bit more difficult than what the paper was the last year, right? So focus on your strengths first. Topics, if you ask me, in verbal, you can go for thanks. I mean, those are basic vocab questions. and grammar questions. So you can focus on that. And then in quants, there are topics like, I think Ramya and Snehadeep would like to throw a light on this better because they've recently given the exam. So if you can let them know what topics are most asked in the question paper.
Yeah, Ramya, go ahead.
Okay, so quant was actually my strength. But I think the major of the topics will be from profit and loss, time, speed, and distance, and even algebra. Algebra has the most of the weightage. So in quants, this actually worked. And to be very honest, when you have like really less time, there's no point in going for new topics right now. Whatever you're strong with and whatever you all have tried till now, just go on checking, giving mocks, and don't panic in the exam. Even if you don't know any question on that day, just skip it, stay calm, and it's okay.
So I would also like to add some light to this. So right now, today is 7th. So you have already prepared all the topics that you need to prepare. So I would now suggest that the topics that you are more confident with, go ahead with it, practice it, revise it.
Yeah. So the next question is by Prem. Are all the 3 attempts equally tough? That totally depends upon the it does not, we don't really know if the paper would be tough for first attempt or the third attempt. It's set by the university itself. But yes, there are more or less on the same level because the difficulty is moderated across the 3 slots as far as we know. So, yeah.
Yeah, like to answer or to address this question, adding to what Ashi said, there is no such slot which is easy or difficult. It just depends upon the style which the paper is set into. So slot one maybe like the difficulty level is same, but the majority of the question from a particular index or from a particular content can change. So slot one can have more of a question related to numbers and profit and loss, and slot two can have questions related to some different topic, but the difficulty level will be same. So what I'm trying to say is that the difficulty level for every slot will be same. The topics or the content might change as per the different slots. That's it.
Gargi is asking placement of agribusiness. So Gargi, for placement related queries, you can actually visit our website. So all the data regarding placements in IB, AB, and ENE, they are mentioned on the website. The highest, average, median, all the numbers are there. So you can refer to our website.
All right. So there is a question: does any course in SIIB require work experience? No, Swati. There is no such any course or program or specialization which require work ex. You like being a fresher or a work ex. Everyone is welcome to take admission in SIIB. How much marks are required to get admission in SCIT? Guys, it's a session for SIIB, and I believe that it is a basic understanding that you should be addressing or asking all the questions related to SIIB. So please be strict to that.
Varun is asking, I'm studying regularly, but I'm not able to increase my marks and mocks. So Varun, you don't need to worry about this. You should actually focus on you should analyze your mocks regularly. So for example, you give a mock today. So for example, tomorrow morning, you're just analyzing your mocks. You're actually seeing where you're going wrong. Because if you're not able to increase your marks, that means that you're not able to actually detect where you're going wrong. So analyzing the mocks is very important. For example, you're not very good with numbers in quantitative section. So you can actually focus on that, and that will only lead to increasing your marks. So giving a multiple number of mocks is not as important as analyzing them at the same time. So make sure that you're analyzing it and then working on your weaker sections as well, and not just on your strengths. So that is very important in SNAP exam because it's ultimately a game of accuracy and speed. So you need to focus on that. I hope I was able to answer your question.
Yeah, perfect. So the next question is, please tell me how to tackle SNAP critical reasoning. and from where we can practice for SNAP critical reasoning. See guys, SNAP critical reasoning is all about understanding the problem. So first of all, you should focus on reading it properly and interpreting it properly, because there are many instances when we read a question and we assume it that it would be solved in a some way or in a some particular way, but it might be demanding some other approach or some other solution. So first of all, try reading and interpreting the question carefully. Just read the question once. If you are not able to get through it once, just read the question twice, but you should have a basic and clear understanding of what the question is asking you. Now coming to the second part of the question, where you can practice for SNAP critical reasoning, I believe there are multiple MBA like coaching centers and online coaching institutes which provide perfectly curated SNAP mock series, like full-fledged mock series, sectional mock series, time-based mock series. So there are like your dearly like your own like the sir that we are taking this YouTube live on. They have a full-fledged and comprehensive mock series, and apart from that, you can like what I did was I took the SNAP mock series from CL, and from I guess I took the offline mock series from different coaching institutes. But yes, there are multiple resources. There is a website referred to as CrackU. Then you have like this channel itself, and then you have different coaching institutes you can refer to for taking and referring to mocks. So like Ashi rightly said, taking mocks or buying mocks and just solving them blindly is not important. Start analyzing those mocks. Like, you should not focus upon how many mocks you have attempted. I guess you should focus upon how many mocks you have analyzed and understood it carefully. Because before attempting a mock and after attempting a mock, there should be a change between how you strategize and how you take an approach for a particular question. So just read the questions carefully, and there are multiple online sites on which you can buy these courses and mock test series. I guess, Ashi, there is a question of how to prepare for GPI. You can address that.
So to prepare for GPI, we actually have a series that our admissions team and PR team actually we make that series. So that's available on our page as well. But additionally, you can actually read as much news as possible. Current affairs is very important. Then you can also, I mean, you need to focus on your speaking skills, presentation skills. I mean, that goes later. That's the later part of, admissions. First, you must focus on clearing the exam. But yes, GPI, we probably will have another series, and we will address how to crack it. Right, Vineet?
Yeah. So basically, guys, for GPI, obviously we will have a series. Also, we have a series which we are, which we have put live on how to ace SNAP. So in which the SNAP percentilers, the toppers at SIIB are talking about like how did they attempted the SNAP, what were their strategies, what were their approaches. So if you would like to know like how a 98 percentiler and 99 percentiler would have thought while attempting the SNAP, you can address you can watch those videos. It is available on SIIB as well as SIIB admissions page. Talking about GPI, we will have a series, but apart from that, I would say that start working on your first and foremost thing is how you talk and the way you communicate. So start working on your communication, start reading newspapers, articles, start reading about what's happening around you. As the college full form itself suggests, Symbiosis Institute of International Business, you should know how how are the things globally. You should be aware about the new trends in the economy, new trends globally in and around your economy. Apart from that, you should have a basic understanding of what you have done in your college. Like if you have done BCom or BA or BTech, you should have a domain knowledge of what you have done and which specialization you have did your entire degree, because there will be a lot of questions on what you have studied in your college and into your in your life until now. Also, if you have a work experience, you should be fully confident on answering what you exactly did, what were your roles and responsibilities, how your day was looking like in an office. And also start preparing for the question why you want to do MBA and why you want to do MBA from SIIB, because these are the two basic questions that will be asked in every B school interview, like why MBA and why from the respective B school. So start working on these things, start increase your awareness about geopolitical issues, global economy, Indian economy, and start working on your domain knowledge. That will be perfect for GPI.
Right.
Snehadeep or Ramya, if you have anything to say. Yeah, Ashi, you were saying something.
Yeah. So if you have an inclination towards a specific specialization, for example, in international business, you want to opt for finance. So you need to have the domain knowledge of finance as well if you are speaking about that in the interview. So make sure whatever words you're using in the interview to the interviewer, he or she, they might question you back on that. So make sure whatever you're speaking, you are fully aware of it, and you are able to justify what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snehadeep and Ramya, like as you guys have recently appeared for the entire process of GPI, if you have anything to say.
So I would like to add that whatever you are speaking, you should have a strong foundation of that in your PI. And for the GE part, you need to have knowledge of what is happening right now in the world as well as in our country. So these two things that I followed during my GPA process helped me crack for SIIB.
Also, I believe, guys, that people who join SIIB come from different backgrounds, be it lawyer, be it engineer, be it a long, full-fledged UPSC aspirant and then joining SIIB, be it food tech, be it biotech, be it zoology. We have students from diverse backgrounds. Like Snehadeep is also a lawyer, right?
Yes, Vinny.
Yeah, so we have students from diverse backgrounds. So there is no such, bar on which domain you are coming from. Like only BCom or engineer graduates can take an entry to SIIB. The people who with diverse backgrounds are also eligible and open to apply. And we would be happy to, the college would be happy to accept you and give the offer. So what is the process after clearing the snap? So who would like to take this up? Ramya?
Yeah. So after you have given the snap, after the entire 3 attempts of snap, maybe you all will be having the results in the month of Jan. And soon after your results, for the colleges you have already applied separately, you all will be receiving a call letter from that college for your GEPI schedule. So you'll have to book slot for your GEPI, and post which you all will have to give your GEPI as well. And after that, after a couple of days, you'll get a confirmation whether y'all have been allotted a seat or y'all have been moved to the waiting list. So that is how the entire process after snap goes on.
All right. So, guys, last year the process name was GEPI VAT. So, this year VAT has been removed. It is only GEPI. So, it is group exercise and final one-to-one personal interview. What kind of reading comprehension should one practice for SNAP? I guess Ashi, reading comprehension has not been a part of SNAP from last 2 years, right?
I think there are small passages, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong, but there are not comprehensions like that.
Full-fledged comprehensions, I don't remember that
So,
part of SNAP.
I mean, I think there will be short passages, as far as I remember, but you never know if
Exactly.
they can
Sure.
they can change the pattern. So be prepared, and I think I'm sure all of you are already prepared. So you just need to have faith in your preparation and just go ahead with it. That's it. Harshana is asking, when do we have to choose our specialization after joining SIIB? So in the first semester itself, you are asked as to which specialization you're inclined towards. And I think in the first month itself, you'll be asked to choose your specialization. So you need to make sure that you are actually confident in choosing what specialization you want to go ahead with for the next 2 years. That's it. In the first month, I think, yeah, first or second month, you'll be asked to choose it.
I could add something here that you will be asked to choose your specialization before the first semester ends, but you can have the opportunity to change it, and it will be only locked after your first semester ends. So till that time, you have a period where if you feel that you don't want to be in finance, you want to be in marketing, you can shift it. But after first semester, it will be locked for the next 3 semesters.
All right. So the next question is, I guess someone is asking to throw some light on the finance roles offered at SIIB. Ashi would be the perfect one to answering this.
Sure. So I am specializing in finance. So there are different roles that are offered. They are finance oriented. So could be consulting, could be financial planning and analysis, could be wealth management. So we have different companies that offer these roles, portfolio management. Then there is uh, consulting related roles are common across specializations. But yes, finance specific, you can look at financial planning and analysis and wealth management. Yeah, I think.
All right. So I guess there's question of GPI conducted online or offline. So Priyanshi, from the last few years, GPI process is conducted completely online, but we never know that if this can be offline this year. But from last few years, it has always been online.
Guys, you can ask us as many questions as possible. We'd be happy to answer.
Since registrations have gone up, do you expect the cutoff to go higher? Uh, See, guys, again, that we have already answered that the cutoff is decided by SIU. We genuinely have no say in what will be the cutoff. We just we can just inform you about the last year cutoff and the last year scores. So last year, the person above 90 percentile has actually have received a call letter for GPI. So I believe at a stage of 90 plus, you will be safe for getting a call from SIIB's GPI process. Some suggestions for SNAP entrance exam, please. Uh, Guys, it's a very open-ended question. I believe that the SNAP slot one is just a few days away, and the suggestions that I can have is to just read the questions very carefully, understand them. SNAP is not a difficulty-centric exam. It is basically how you handle and manage your 60 minutes in one go. You have each correct answer plus one, and for each negative answer it's 0.25. So also you have to work on your accuracy, like how much questions you are able to attempt in those 60 minutes, and out of those questions that you are attempting, at least 90% should be correct to land you up in a good score or in a safe zone. Just focus on what are your strengths, as Ashi rightly mentioned in the previous part of the session, that for every person the strengths can be different. Like for Ashi, English and verbal section was the game changer. For me, the logical section was the game changer. For Snehadeep, the quant section was the game changer. So just focus upon what can be your game changer, because there are no sectional cutoff. That is the basic advantage for Snap. So you can just focus on what you are good at, and that will land you up in a good score and in a safe zone. And just be patient. Don't get anxious. Don't be stressed, and just be calm and happy on the day of the Snap.
Very well said, Vineet. So one of the person is asking, should we focus on strengths or try to cover more variety in terms of quant syllabus? So personally, I would actually go for more variety because you never know. One topic that you might consider very difficult might actually end up having giving you most number of marks because the questions could be easier. So I mean, I think it's essential to cover most of the topics and focus on your strengths at the same time. So, I mean, I believe that you should actually cover as many topics as possible uh, because again the question from that topic that you think that is very difficult for you might actually be easy on the exam day, so it's better that you cover, you know the formulas, um, you actually know what the topic is all about. So yeah.
All right. So Metrak is asking, does the cutoff for energy and environment and international business vary or is it same? So Metrak, I guess Ashi has already answered this question that the cutoff for all the three programs are different. For IB, it's 90 plus, and for AB and ENE, it's comparatively less. So yeah, so it is somewhere in the range of 80s or late 70s for AB and ENE, and for IB, it's 90 plus. Most important topics, if any. Snehadeep and Ramya, like exactly what were the important topics that you studied while preparing for SNAP last year?
So I'll let you know about the important topics from the quants part. That was the most important is the Proctor laws, then time and distance. So these are the most important topics that I focused on from the quants perspective. Other than that, for the VARC, I must say that vocabulary you need to have a strong grasp on vocabulary. And for the LR part, you need to have a strong logical reasoning about the puzzles that you are going to attempt in the SNAP exam. So these are the basic important topics that I might say will help you land a good score. If Ramya has anything to add.
So adding to what Snehadeep said, in LR section, I think the number series or the alphabet series will also have a lot of weightage because last time most of the questions were from that section. But well, as Vineet said, you can't predict anything this year. But I think major of the questions were from the series, number series and alphabetical series. Also the puzzles, what Snehadeep mentioned. And in quants, it was algebra also had a lot of weightage, like uh, the major of the weightage was from algebra, profit and loss, and time, speed and distance, and time and work as well. And VARC is, as he said, you have to have a strong hold on your vocabulary and whatever grammar, basic grammar concepts, and finding the error and all of that.
And also guys, to make yourself prepare better for the exam, I think all the past snap papers are available, so you must actually go through them because they're more or less on the same lines. The papers actually, the pattern is similar across years. So the topics that Ramya and Snehadeep have actually shared, uh, they are the most prominent ones, as you can see across all the papers, past papers. So you must actually go through all of them, which will give you a right idea about what you can expect in the paper.
All right. So Jay Devnani is asking if you can tell us your scores, raw scores, percentiles, and workx details.
Uh,
Uh, Jay, my percentile was 90.25 and my score was somewhere between 35.25 and 35.5. So, and I was a fresher only. I just had a 2 to 3 months work ex, so that doesn't count as a work experience in a B school. So yeah, that's about me.
yeah, for me as well, I'm a fresher too. So work experience is 0 months. And percentile, I think I was at 95. And I don't really remember the exact score, but it was around 38 or 39 as far as I remember. But percentile, I'm sure of, that was 95. Marks somewhere around that range.
For me, I'm also a fresher, but I so 0 months of work ex, but I do have some internship experience in Supreme Courts and High Courts. Apart from that, for my percentile, it is 92.85, and my raw score was 30 plus. I'm not perfectly sure about the exact score, but yeah, that's it.
So even I'm a fresher, but I have a internship experience of 6 months. I've done my engineering in my undergrad, and my percentile was somewhere 92.5, and the raw score was about 32, 34 something. I don't remember the exact score. But yeah, we have got a lot of questions asking about the work experience. So we have a very good diversity that most of them, like, there are many of us who are freshers, and there are a lot of us who actually have a work ex as well. But there is no criteria or no eligibility that a person of work ex only has to appear for the GEPI or something like that.
All right. So do we require work experience is already answered by Ramya. In algebra, I have covered basics, but it's not an area of strength. Any tips for covering algebra? Anyone who would like to address this?
So I would like to say that if it's not your strength, then I would say that you can skip it and focus on the other parts. But apart from that, uh, the tips I would like to share is that you can have the strategies that I followed for the algebra part is that I made a copy and I listed down all the equations and that I used to revise every morning. So that's a strategy that helped me do good in my algebra part in my SNAP exam. So you can have a look at it, and but I will suggest that if it's not an area of your strength, then you can move ahead with other areas that you feel that you are confident enough with and focus on getting most questions right rather than focusing on other areas that you think that you do not have that strength.
All right. Guys,
Yeah. So
drop
like,
in your questions.
sorry.
Yeah, she. Yeah, sure.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just asking them to drop in their questions so that we can interact and solve their doubts. Yeah, you can go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah. So like Snehadeep said, he actually made a register wherein he noted down all the formulas. So I think you should just keep on revising those formulas so that you don't forget them, because sometimes the formula is enough to get the answer correct, right? You do not actually need to apply too much of your brain into solving it, because some of the questions are really easy. So make sure that you have memorized all the formulas by heart. That is the most important thing, I think, in algebra and in quant section. That's what even I did. And I think most of us, that was the strategy, to actually remember the formulas, because that's the, requirement.
Yeah. Because Snap, the question might look confusing, but the question might demand a simple formula and just to put values and you get an answer. Because Snap is a paper of 60 minutes where they can use a difficult language, but they cannot give you a difficult or a complicated problem. So I would just say learning formulas and understanding and interpreting the problem in an absolute way will help you to score well in that particular section.
Jay is asking, when did you guys attempt? All of you did it in 2022. No, Vineet and I were actually from the senior batch. So we attempted in 2021. And Snehadeep and Ramya, they are our juniors. So they were in 2022. So as you can see, all of our scores and percentiles, they actually they have not varied a lot. So for the same percentile, I think the marks are quite similar from our batch to their batch. So you can get an idea from that as to what score you should aim for.
Perfect. So I guess someone is asking what are the topics of quant which you shouldn't leave. I guess the questions related to number system, then you have ratio proportions, then you have percentages, and then you have profit and loss. These are the four sections I believe that you should not leave while practicing for quant for like Snap as an individual paper,
Yeah,
because
and
these
even
four
speed time
yeah
distance,
yeah
speed time
speed time
distance.
distance,
That's
yes.
also
So
very
these
hard.
are the few topics which you should not leave if you are going to attempt Snap, because these are the prominent sections and these will be the prominent topics which you will see in every Snap previous year paper or the mock section, because these are few of the favorites for the Snap examination. If there is any other topic which Snehadeep or Ramya can add in, please.
Two more topics that I would also like to add is one is the set theory, where you can have all the Venn diagrams, and the other is the mixture and allegations. We do see a lot of
Yes.
questions from these topics in our exams.
Guys, I can see very less number of questions. It is a very great opportunity to, you are interacting live with the SIIB students, and the snap is just around the corner. We all have given snap. We all are sitting in SIIB doing our own core of specialization. Interact with all of us, ask your doubts, be it silly, be it very small, or be it stupid in your mental space. But I believe that you should ask it, like, because we are here to address and interact with you all. So just feel free to interact and ask questions. Jay Devnani is asking, can we go and select additional colleges now? For example, if I didn't select SIIB initially, but I want to do it now, would it be possible? Yes. So last date for SIIB is December 30th. So till December 30th, you have a chance to fill the form for SIIB. So even by any chance, if you have not filled or selected SIIB by while filling the form for SNAP, you can do it by December 30th. But after December 30th, SIIB individual forms will be closed and you will not be able to apply or like fill the form for the college.
Someone is asking how to deal with statement assumption questions. So the basic strategy is that you actually read the statement first and negate the options that are totally not, cannot really be the assumption. So I usually go with that. So I eliminate the options and then finally reach to the answer. So that's what I do. It's not because the options are very close enough. So you actually need to eliminate them and then arrive at the final answer. If any other strategy is applied by the three of you, you can share. Otherwise, we can move on to next.
Statement assumption was not my cup of tea, to be very honest. I was genuinely stuck in those set of questions because it was a little bit confusing for me. So yeah, as Ashi said, I guess it would be correct and it would be the most optimal strategy that you can do for statement assumption questions.
Because that is how we do in RCs as well, right? Because
Yeah.
all the options are very closely related. There's not much of a difference. So that's because they want to confuse you. So you actually need to eliminate them, and then whatever option you think that would justify the statement, that is how we do it.
Exactly. I believe the strategy of not choosing the right one is much more beneficial for all the sections in every examination, I would say. Because once you delete or you opt out of the options or you eliminate the option which cannot be the answer, then you can focus on what can be the answer or what cannot be the answer. So the strategy of like opting out of the differentiating between what can be the answer and what absolutely cannot be the answer helps you in all the sections, be it quant, be it logical, or be it English.
True.
Is SIIB is good for HR as a specialization? So see guys, for HR as a specialization, obviously for like under international business, we have 4 specializations: marketing, supply chain, finance, and human resource. I would not be lying to this aspect that the batch for HR is considerably less as compared to all other specialization. The range of the batch is little less, but yeah, now with less range or less students that are pursuing HR from SIIB, they have an added advantage. They get the personal attention from the faculty, they get the personal mentorship, they get the chance to personally interact with all the HR enthusiasts, HR leaders that actually visits SIIB in a variety of events. We have genuinely a great faculties who come to college and teach subjects like learning and development, recruitment, selection. So there will be 2 aspects which I will be focusing upon or drawing your attention if you are planning to take HR for SIIB. The batch size would be considerably small, but now it is on you how you are going to leverage that small batch size, because a small batch size means one-to-one mentorship from the faculties and the top leaders that will be coming to these schools. So it is, one way, if you see it's a less batch size, but the other way there is an advantage of interacting and making good connections and network with the leaders that come to college. Ashi, if you have any other point to say.
Yeah, like you said, we have great faculty for HR. I mean, we have our friends in HR and they speak so well of them. Plus, yes, the industry experience is pretty good for HR batch, although the batch size is less, but I think it's a fruitful experience for them. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. If we give less importance to geometry and mensuration, will it be fine?
I don't think that you should give less importance to any topic, because sometimes, the paper can be set and you can expect 5 or 6 questions of geometry. You never know. So make sure that you at least know the formulas and you've practiced the basic questions, at least practice the past year papers. That would also be enough, because the difficulty is not so much. So, I mean, it would be better to cover as many topics in quants, especially, as possible. And do not leave anything. But yes, focus on your strengths and try to minimize your weakness. That's what I would suggest.
Yeah. Also, guys, it's 8:50 by the clock. We need to wrap the session in next 5 minutes. So let's take last set of few questions if we can cover. Swati is asking if we can give fair idea about placements. So, Swati, the statistic for placements for 2021-23 batch is available on the website, including the summer internship for 2022-24. Our average somewhere lies between 13 to 14, and our mean and median are clearly mentioned on the website, program-wise as well as specialization-wise. I would like to request you to please have a look on the website regarding the same. Guys, if you have any questions for the closure, please drop in your questions in the chat box so that we can address the last set.
Is there one person is asking, is there any problem if we leave input output as a topic? Yeah, I mean, I think this topic, if one question is asked from this, then it's not a problem. But then if there are 5 questions from the same topic, then definitely it would be a problem. So make sure you know the basics of it. And if you can solve it in, minimum amount of time, then go for it. Otherwise, obviously, you do not need to attempt all 60 questions. You can always focus on your strengths.
As
Or,
Ashley rightly said, don't just skip any topic, even if you are not much strong with that. Just know the formulas. Even as in geometry, just know what is the basic formula. Some questions are really very direct on the exam day, that it will be just calculating an area or volume or something like that. So just don't leave any topics, but don't waste major of your time in that. Just go through it in a glance, and if by chance if you get any question, you can get a mark there.
Okay, so we will be taking this last question. Is there a problem if we give one attempt of snap? So see, I guess there is no such problem if you give one attempt of snap, but I believe when you have a chance to give 3 attempts and improve your score, you should not miss this opportunity. Because clearing one paper and getting a good percentile can, genuinely change the landscape of how your next 2 years are going to be look like. So like for the next 2 years, an MBA you do, an MBA you do for the, once in a lifetime, and it is a life-changing opportunity. So I believe that if you can, attempt more and more number of snap, like we have 3 attempts, and the best out of one score is applicable, like for the final score that is to be considered while like for you for receiving offer letter. So if you give just one attempt, there would not be a problem, but 3 attempts give you a chance of improving your scores and can land you up in a good college, as compared to if by any chance your day on snap 1 or your third day on snap 2 does not work, or your mind frame does not work with that capacity that it works in mocks or any other attempt. So it all depends upon the D-day strategy, D-day behavior that is there for you. And I would just like, that would be my personal suggestion, just to change the landscape of how your next 2 years are going to look like, just to have a better experience of MBA and a B school journey. You should attempt all the 3 snap slots that we have. so that you do not lose a chance to reach to a high percentile and a high score and landing up in a good college.
Yeah,
Snehadeep, I request you to yeah, Ashi, just 1 second. Snehadeep,
yeah.
I request you to share the scanner code or the QR code of our group on Telegram so that aspirants can join the SIIB group. Ashi, yes, you can go ahead.
Yeah,
Sure.
so I mean, it's obviously an advantage if you have 3 attempts, but even if you don't, like I also attempted just once and I cleared it. So I mean, since the exam is just around the corner, just do not worry about it. Give your best, and even one attempt can, get you into it if it's meant for you, right? So even I gave one, and I got in. So can you.
Yeah, Snehadeep and Ramya, do you have anything to say? We are just ending the session in next 2 minutes.
I would like to say that I have shared the QR code. Is it visible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Snehadeep, it's visible.
Everyone should join this Telegram channel. We'll be sharing valuable insights from our Snap toppers, and we'll also be sharing all the series that we will be conducting for the GPA series. So everyone, you can join the Telegram channel, and you will be getting very valuable insights from us.
So all right, guys, I believe that's the time we take your leave, and that's the time we end the session. I would just like to thank every one of you to be in the live, to be with us, to asking us about Snap or SIIB, and we are happy to address each and every question of yours. And I would just like to say that all the best for the upcoming exams and for the upcoming process for SIIB or for any other B school that you have attempted to. And I hope you make the best of it.
All the best, everyone. And I'm sure all of you will make it through. So just do your best and don't panic on the exam day. That is very important.
Yeah, thank
All
you,
the best,
Vineet and
everyone.
team, for this really helpful session. And I'm sure that all our students and viewers would have always surely learned something from it. And I would also like to mention here that we have also uploaded a video based on the strategy that you can uh, pursue to for the SNAP exam. So yeah, do watch that videos and feel free to comment in all the doubts that you have in that video. So yeah, and thank you, Team SIIB, for today's session.
Sure, sir. And thank you so much for having us and for giving this as an opportunity to interact with all the aspirants. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.